This video is sponsored by Sega and RGG Studio. Thank you for picking me and my team to be your little meow meow for this week. Yo, gamers! The Nintendo Switch 2 is finally out! You know what that means? Time to throw your money at a bunch of new games to help fill the empty void in your soul. However, out of the new lineup, one of the bigger releases and cheaper in comparison to most is definitely Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. Listen, I'm just gonna play it straight with you guys. My friends and I already love the Yakuza games, like, a lot. So when Sega and RGG Studio reached out to me to make a quick video about it, I said yes, like, immediately. Like, how could you even say no to that? I couldn't. If I did, I think that my friends would have shot me in the chest and killed me instantly. And that would be painful because I'd be fucking dead. I mean, for real, when I first heard about the Director's Cut releasing, I was already planning on buying it with my big boy dollars just because of the new English dub alone, since, you know, it overall makes the game a lot more accessible to English speakers, which I am.
That's rad.
But I was informed that it's not the only new feature included in the game, which I am here to talk to you about today on behalf of Sega and RGG Studio. Thank you very much, Sega and RGG Studio. There's a lot more here than what you would expect from a simple re-release. You know, this ain't your daddy's Yakuza 0. It's your daddy's Yakuza 0, but new and shiny and has more stuff than your daddy's Yakuza 0. I gotta stop saying daddy. So let's talk about it real quick. Is Yakuza 0 Director's Cut the game for you? The answer is probably yes, and I will now explain why with my words. If you've never played a Yakuza game before, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is built to be accessible for newcomers while also providing longtime fans with a unique experience with characters they may be familiar with already. The original Yakuza 0 is already one of the best reviewed games in the series, and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is just that, but with more meat on its bones, making it the definitive way to experience the game. Extra content, extra features, and like I said, a full English dub from the ground up. Did I mention the English dub?
We're breaking the law, breaking the world together, throwing out our tenderness.
Yakuza is a series that's well known for having great stories and pretty serious themes, but is also contrasted with insane stuff, like this guy, Mr. Libido. You see, Mr. Libido is very horny, and he really wants you to know about that for some reason. This game in specific is a crime drama that takes place in 1980s Japan, featuring dual playable protagonists, a young and up-and-coming Yakuza named Kazuma Kiryu, and a suspicious cabaret club manager by the name of Goro Majima, aka everyone's baby girl.
Oh, my princess, I love you. You know that it's true, and I know you love me. It's easy to see, so slip away with me, my dear, and I'll be your charming tonight.
Something I really appreciate about this game is its ability to faithfully recreate the neon-lit red light districts of Tokyo and Osaka in really intricate detail. And one of the reasons why is because recently I went on a vacation to Japan with my buddy Mikey, and we got to see these places in real life, and it's kind of shocking how one-to-one a lot of these are. This game really makes you feel like you have the exaggerated swagger of a young Yakuza member, giving you 3 unique fighting styles for both playable characters, which you can dynamically switch between mid-combat at all times. Also, you can hit people with stuff. Which is my favorite feature, of course. Obviously though, one of the specific highlights of the game, especially for me, is the sheer amount of extra content that it has. It's got a metric shit ton of minigames, side quests, and even a retro arcade with classic Sega games built right into it. Some of these arcade games even being attached to side quests that'll have you grinding at them for high scores, which was a particular favorite of mine while I was playing. If you aren't familiar at this point, and I honestly don't know why you wouldn't be familiar, this series is built around amazing side content. And like I said, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut has that in spades. You can play a lot of this stuff for hours at a time and not even graze the main storyline. There is just a lot to take up your time. And not only that, but Yakuza 0 Director's Cut specifically has entirely new content on top of everything I already said. For example, there's an entire new 25 plus minutes of added cutscenes that gives you more context and insight into the story. Or there's the new multiplayer Red Light Raid mode, which is an entirely new online co-op mode where you can play alone or team up with up to 3 friends to take down waves of enemies in various locations. Plus, on top of that, you can unlock up to 60 different playable characters in this mode. That's a lot of characters.
That's a lot of nuts!
Definitely more than like, 59. And, as I reiterated multiple times already, there's also a new full English dub that you have the option to play alongside the original Japanese sub version that is also included.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wow, this new English dub sure is hitting. Now I can hear a man beg for his life in full English. I'm really loving the new cast so far, especially Majima, who is portrayed by Matt Mercer in the English dub for the game.
Then it's showtime!
And I'm totally not biased about that just because Matt Mercer also plays one of my other favorite characters, Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure whatsoever. Why would you even say that? Plus, much like other Nintendo Switch 2 games, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut runs at a smooth 60 FPS even while in handheld mode, and can be played at a crisp 4K resolution while docked. But not only that, it also includes updated textures with a higher base resolution, making this game the best that Zero has ever looked. Director's Cut is a guaranteed good time. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is available right now on Nintendo Switch 2 via the eShop or in stores physically, if that's your thing. You'll probably be catching me playing more of the game on stream soon as well. I'm very excited about it. Can you tell? Can you tell that I'm very excited about it? Can you tell? Once again, big thanks to Sega and RGG Studio for hitting me up to help promote and talk about the game. I was probably going to do that regardless, but I will happily do it in an official capacity as well. Okay, that's all the time I've got. I've got to get back to playing the hit game Yakuza 0 Director's Cut on my Nintendo Switch 2 system. Goodbye, ever Yakuza. See you next video. Bye!